Hi guys, welcome to another Becoming Classic video. Today we're going to look at, it's actually part of the project KH. These are the KH 250 hubs that we've just had. Just come back from vapor blasting, so I have to say the standard of the way the parts come back, it's a big shout out to Ollie at Newark Vapor Blasting. You can find him on Facebook. Find him, yeah, I mean, I think there's a website, but I know categorically you find him on Facebook at Newark Vapor Blasting. I mean, the turnaround's really quick and the work is just fantastic. So, anyway, there's the other one. That's the rear, and that's our front hub. Obviously, bearings to go back in yet, one thing or another, but anyway, we'll put that one away. We're going to look at lacing up this wheel. So, okay, as with any spoking job, you can see the angle of that spoke and then the angle of that spoke. Now that spoke with not quite 90 is inners, and just over 90 and a slightly longer bend is the outers. The outer spoke. So we've got on this one, we've got a row of 20, I think it's 20 on this 40 spoke, yeah, 20 inners, 20 outers. Okay, so you can clearly see there the difference in the angles. So to start with any wheel, we would start with inners. So I'll put that one away for a minute. Got a pack of spokes here that are for both wheels, because they're actually the same spokes, lengths, same sort of lengths on both wheels. Okay, with it being a drum brake front Kawasaki 250. So, but yeah, you can see just getting the set of inner spokes. Now, there's another one there with a nipple already on it. These are stainless, and the nipples are stainless as well. So, okay, so moving on with this, generally you can pick any of these holes, but if you actually look closely you can kind of see witness marks where a spoke's been before. Generally try and rebuild it the same. See, I don't know if you can see there's the little kind of pull mark on the aluminium where it's the spoke's been going that way, the outer has been going that way, so that's actually the outer. Just there again, just there, the spoke's been going that way. So what we want to do is look for the inners. Okay, so we're going to get our inners to start with. The opposite one to where those poles are, we're going to go, because they're outers. You see the witness mark where the spoke would have been close to the aluminium hub. So we're going to use this one. Okay, so with this one, I'm going to drop. I'm just going to move. Open that. I'll just let me do that. I'm going to drop through and put a set of inners. This one. So we're just going to get all our inner spokes. Times I've done this wrong, where I've ended up round here at this one and it's been next to it, and then you find out you've actually jumped 2 holes, not 1. Right, easy done. So we're just doing it spoking one, miss one, spoking one, miss one. Okay, all the way around until we get. We only want one there. So these are our inners, okay? So what we're going to do is quickly flip her over. And again, we're now looking for, we can see again, witness marks where the outer has been. So we're going to use this one. So we're going to use that one now. And this is where you need a bit of a little bit of, it starts trying to confuse you. That set of spokes is all going that way, the ones we're just putting underneath now. Try and keep them all in the same, just try and make sense of this madness at the minute. It's witchcraft, this is. It's nothing but witchcraft. Okay, so we're going to try and keep. So we've gone in, missed one, gone in, and we'll go in the opposite direction with this side than what that side is. So we're just going to try and keep them all looking something, like I say, making sense of this witchcraft. Right, again, dead easy as it starts, you start getting more in, start getting a bit perhaps in the wrong hole, and okay. So we'll just keep going. Carefully just try and keep everything in the direction it was going in. So we've got the bottom set that are, we've got our bottom set now that are going, what, anti-clockwise, and sorry, bottom set are pointing towards clockwise. You get what I mean. The bottom set's going in a different direction to the top set. So over the top, because obviously this is the upper. What we got left? Couple more. 1, 2, yeah. So right. If you're with me up to now, it's quite simple, really. Up to now, it's just a bit of a. Okay, so what you can see now, we've got the spokes crossing over both sets of inner spokes. Okay. We've also got teeth, so excuse me a minute while I have a bit of the tea. Right. So if you're following me with that, when we put the spoke back now, our outer spoke go in the opposite direction, so you can just see a witness mark. Not always you will, but on this particular hub I can see where it is, so I'm just going to put it back where it was. Right, so what we've got today is a new rim. Okay, so this is our rear. Make sure I get the right rim. Yeah, there we go. So here we have a new rim. Okay, chop me. Here we go. You know, I looked into the cost. They weren't original DID rims either, so there was kind of no benefit. It's been done before at some point in this Sacco. I looked at perhaps rechroming the old rims, but you know, cost effective and I thought favourable to more favourable to get a new rim. Okay, just get find the bin. Right. It's a bit fresh this morning, so I'm hoping the camera's picking this up. What we're now looking for is the way I'm looking for kind of, when you look at the holes in these, that hole, that one is, let me get something I can kind of show you what I mean. This hole here, for instance, is kind of pointing down. Pointing that way, but it's pointing down. Whereas this hole is pointing that way, but it's pointing up. So this is a good key point to give us a little bit of a, right, okay. So if we rotate this round, does it look like it wants to work with our top inner spoke going down to the, yeah, I mean, yeah, it does to me. So let's just see if this, get the nipples right. Let's just have a look with this. Now, because the stainless spokes and stainless nipples, you can get a binding up on stainless that you think it's tight and it's actually locked the threads up together. So you need a lubricant on the thread. Now, to start with, I don't know, I'm just going to go perhaps halfway down the thread on that one that we looked at, and you can see as it's coming out of the rim, it's not coming out, if I can try and, whereas that one, because it's pointing, you can see that with the spoke in it, it's actually pointing towards the lower side of the hub, but not quite as much of an angle. And if I wanted to make a spoke go into that from the upper here, you can see it just doesn't want to do it. So you kind of look for what's going to line up. Okay, that's what I'm trying to say. I'm just going to give that a little bit of oil. So what I'm looking for here now, although we did miss one spoke, we're now looking at miss 3. So 1, 2, 3, there's our next one. Okay. Tea again. Can't let tea go cold. Bit of oil. So 1, 2, 3. Our next spoke. Again, all I'm doing here is just a couple of threads. Okay, I'm going to get a decent, good flat screwdriver for this. You can soon burr up the end of it with an old knacked screwdriver, and well, do damage to the end of the nipple. But I'm just looking for I should have prepared it earlier, shouldn't I? That it was ready for me on there we go. Okay, so all I want to do, you see I've got my raggy old clothes on again today. Every guy has got his favourite work gear. Yeah. Sometimes it's been that favourite, you've had it for ages and it's about ready for the bin, but no. You see, so when I've had some silicone or something on me, a bit of paint or something, you know, see where it always ends up, can't you? But again, here we go, moving it round. So we're going to go, our next one, 1, 2, 3. It goes. Screw it on a bit. Don't have to be too far. Here's our, in fact, if I go that way you might see it a bit better. So the next one round is this one, and then we want 1, 2, 3 round, so it's that one. A little bit of oil. Yeah, the vapor blaster, I mean, this for me is the only way to build the wheels. I mean, you need the hub out to get the vapor blasted, to get the hub vapor blasted, get it all clean, bearings out, everything. Yeah, it's more involved, it's more work, it's more, but the end result is better. So again, next one, keeping a bit of, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, miss 3, and in it goes. And they all now, because you picked the correct one at the beginning, they're all the correct ones as you. A bit tight on that one. A bit of a burr or something there. Nip that one up a little bit. It is off now. Okay. See there, I nearly spun that one that way, which would have made the spokes go at an angle. You have just to keep your head in gear, you know. 1, 2, 3. Next one. Always on camera, isn't it? That they're a bit reluctant. Eh? Never when you build one, you're not on camera. Just the start of the thread seems to be, for some reason. That's fine. On it goes. So next one, and 1, 2, 3. So it's that one. Bit of oil. So that one just went on anyway. So our next one, but like I say, we have spoke, miss 1 spoke. Down here on the rim we have spoke, miss 3 spoke. Okay, all going in that direction. Screwdriver to it. He started out a little bit reluctant, but he's alright now. And then what we got now? Right, this is where you can get, so you have to thread that round and use the manoeuvrability. 1, 2, 3, miss 1, there it is. That we still have in the hub to wheel and to start getting things in the right direction. I'm just going to put that to there and just take that up and add with a screwdriver. Not much. See you again. Okay, so next what I want to do, put a tension in that rotation, the spokes lock up into the hub. We can now pick it up, keep an tension on it and turn it over. Okay, keep that tension that way. Right, now these are all, make sure these are all going the right way before we start putting any spoke in. They're not, that one's not. Make sure these are all the right way, because we're now going the opposite way to what we can get to all of them. They're all out from underneath the set spokes we've just done. Okay, and they are now. So again, what's going to happen now is we can just take that spoke tension off a little bit, swing a spoke towards the rim and have a look at the rim. Now it can be a little bit confusing. Where's my, probably get it more from, so if we use this spoke, that one, even if you put a nipple in, when it's centered in its dome in the rim, you can see it's looking at going that way. But if you look at, well, let's look, that one's going that way. So we're not looking for that, for this particular spoke, we're not looking for that, are we? So, but that is looking pretty much, it's how it's kind of just lining up. So we're just going to back off, bit of lubricant. Should have my glamorous assistant with me in here doing this. So, we said it was that one. First one, again, just wants me to take that up a nad. Okay. So again now, same principle, miss 3, including the one that there's a spoke in, so, you know, disregarding the fact that there's a spoke already in that one, miss 3. So we've just done that one, 1, 2, 3, now this one. Yeah, a bit of oil on. Okay. Get some nipples out. Okay, so which one we've just done? We've just done that one and that one, so it's 1, 2, 3. Our next spoke is here. And again, just the very beginning of the spoke manufacturing. But then it's as light as just I think they're at roll thread, aren't they? So right, next one again. Here's our next spoke. But 1, 2, 3. There's the hole. Okay. See that one? Straight on by hand. That's the way it usually is when you're not on camera. There we are. Little bit of oil. 1, 2, 3. So there we go. We're cooking now. Cooking with gas, as they say. So just take that open now. Next nipple out. So 1, 2, 3 into there. Starts to look a bit like a wheel. Yep. So 1, 2, 3. Yeah, as I'm saying, the rims that I took off they're not DID rims anyway. I mean, had they been DID rims, I probably would have sent them for re-chroming, but they weren't, and you know, they really were quite bad. 1, 2, 3, this one. So, and often, well, you can get sometimes with re-chroming when it comes back, you can still see pitting, and you know, it depends on the quality of the chrome work, to be honest. I mean, same as anything, you get what you pay for. But with a new rim looked after, 1, 2, 3, and we're in there. A new rim looked after, you know. But it don't get better than the new, does it? You know, and stainless spokes. It's the only way. Okay. Just take it off and that. So, nearly there. Last one on this particular run. So 1, 2, 3, and we're finally at our last. There we go. Okay. Now, if you can see now, we've got our inners in. Okay. Right. That's good, because we now got. So, as I said, these spokes with the not quite 90 angle are all inners. So they're for the front wheel. So we now come to these spokes that are just a bit more than 90. Okay, so take an handful out. I think that's one as well we took out to show right at the beginning, wasn't it? Yeah. So anyway, right, with these spokes, what we're going to do now, let's just have a look. So now we come from the middle. Okay, it's going to come from the middle, because the one side of it is going that way, we're going to go this way and look for immediately. Let me get a nipple and show you. That nipple there is obviously wanting to go that way. As we put it in this dimple in the rim, that's the word, dimple. That one's looking at going that way. He's going that way right at the side of it. We need a cross here where they cross, and then that's it. The rim gives you the indication of, I mean, it started right at the beginning from the first spoke that we looked at after we'd laced up the inners, get a spoke to point to one, and there it is. So with now a little bit of lube on there, we're going to say you're going in there. Again, right at the very beginning, these just, yeah, then it's away. Anyway, there we go. See that? I'm just going to send that up that thread a little bit. So the next spoke, making sure it is an outer spoke now, it's outside of the hub. These are all inside, and the set we're doing now are outside. So working our way around from inside, and we're now going in this direction, so it just swings to cross pretty much in the centre. Again, a little bit of lube on it, and he's gone straight on, so it's good. So, working our way around. Next one. Swings to it. There it is. Tell you, I need my glamorous assistant to do the oiling for me. That's it. So just get the spoke to kind of go through the hole. As you start getting more and more spokes assembled on the rim, on the wheel, your flexibility starts to just get a little bit less, if you get me. So that's why we're not going any tight, because the more we tighten these up to start with, the more we tighten them up, the less flexibility we've got in building it. So again, looking at our rim, next one. There we go. I don't know, a similar amount of thread. Right, that's not got quite as much. But that's what I tend to try and just start with. Okay, another spoke. So we've gone to there, we're now going to go to that one, through, lace it, and into there. Okay. Next one. What I should have is a little oil bath, isn't it? And just dip the thread in. Just dip the thread in before we put it in the... Anyway, we haven't now. Just slightly to start with. There we go, he's going now. Again, a similar amount of thread showing. there. Next one, just follow it round. He wants to roll a little bit. Just put this bracket there for a minute. He wants to roll. Right. And there we have another one in, so just keep going like this. Slight bind on that one, nothing that concerns me, but again we're at this one, so we're coming in from through the wheel, and it aims at the correct hole. Lube on there. Yeah, with stainless stuff, I've had it before when you start using like stainless bolts and nuts, you know, maybe through a wheel bolt in some Italian stuff where it's just a nut and bolt, a long nut and bolt if you like, all the way through, and then you put a stainless nut on there, and as soon as you start putting any kind of torque on it, it just locks. The threads pick up and it just locks. So, you know, the only way out then is to shear the bolt, because you can't tighten it, and you can't tighten it anymore. You can't undo it anymore. You've got absolutely no idea of the torque that's on it. So just a heads up, when you're using stainless on stainless, is to use a lubricant. So you get all sorts of opinions on that. I mean, let's say there's a specific type of grease or whatever. I mean, for me it's a light oil. You know, some will probably say I'm wrong with that, but it's worked all right all these years. So okay, but as you can see, we're starting to look. Always amazes me the amount of even side load you can get on a spoked wheel, the amount of weight that they'll take. In the early days, I grew up with sidecar racing, and in the early days, everything that I remember back as a kid, they were like 16-inch spoke wheels, that sort of thing. And we've got all this side. Yeah, we're all done on that side, so all it is now we just turn it round and carry on the same way. Yeah, and they were all. So now we should only have one set of holes left. So yeah, they were all spoked wheels, and the side load you can put on a rim, obviously, with a sidecar is, and you could kind of see the wheels bending as they were thrown hard into a hairpin or whatever. But hey, there we go. Look at the cars, the old MGs and stuff, you know. Anyway, so starting to look. So we've gone from there. We get a cross 1, cross 2. That's what they say about the rims when it's cross 1, cross 2. So through, back that way. After you've got your first running, it kind of just works, if that makes sense. As long as you check the angle of the dimple in the wheel, the way the spoke, the way the nipple wants to stick through, where it's showing you where it's pointing to, where it wants to be. So again through there, sticking it through that one. I'll sit there for the minute. I find it a bit therapeutic, to be honest, doing wheels, but we're I mean, to be fair, it's the easy bit. easy bit. Remember, the trimming it up can be, take your time with the trimming it up, which I'll do as a separate video on the trimming it up, because I have a really old cast iron yoke. It's probably older than my great granddad. So there you go, that's how old. Okay, it's not doesn't look anything pretty, but it really is the old, for specifically cast iron. It weighs a frigging ton, but it's the specific tool for kind of setting a wheel up, a laced wheel up. So right, I need some more spokes, so just make sure I get the right ones now and I don't put inners in. Yep, they're all outers. So I went to there. I'm now going to go next one round, and it kind of just points to where it wants to be. It's how you start off building it, the rim, that dictates. If you've done it incorrectly, you'll soon find out that you'll soon get it where it's, hang on a minute, this just doesn't even feel right the way it's. I am getting ahead of myself now. I've lubed the nipple before I put the spoke in. There we go. Okay. Yeah, so we're nearly there now. So we'll just keep the video to the last few spokes going, and then we can have a look at so you see why we've got the inners and the outers. If you didn't do it in this way, you can't get the, if you put outers in first, you wouldn't get the inners in, because the way that they want to fall and kind of lay is, it has to be done this way. So always work out which are your inner spokes and your outer spokes, and often you get a rim, certainly some a hub, sorry, certainly some British stuff that's the outer, and it may be a conical, so the process is still exactly the same, but there'll be longer spokes. If it comes down to a smaller, you know, in a cone shape, these will be shorter here, and at the inside where it's only small, obviously the spokes will be longer to go down to it. But there is the other issue of offset, and you don't always get the measurement. If you want to put the wheel to bits and somebody brings you a rim and a hub and a set of spokes, or just says, can you supply spokes for that, and build it, you know, sometimes it's a little bit more difficult, because you don't really, you know, you don't know spokes length and gauge and that sort of stuff. So ideally, if you've got any wheels you want building, take it to your wheel builder and let him take it to bits, because you need to measure offset where the hub is in relation to the centre of the wheel to the centre of the hub. You know, is it set there? Is it set there? Is it, you know, so it all needs clocking and measuring. So if you take the if you want it rebuilding, you're better off, or certainly take measurements yourself before you dismantle it. A long ruler across the face of it, measured from the ruler to the rim, things like that, that you can write down and say, this is what it was when I before I stripped it, so, you know, to say the hub vapor blasted, whatever, before I stripped it, this is what it was. So we've just got one left. So there we are, one left. He's in there, and Right, what we've got is right, there we go. What we've got is our laced up wheel. Very wobbly at the minute, but she's laced up. Now when it goes back in there, well, what I'll actually do is I'll just start taking these up a little bit more now it's built. Perhaps generally a rule of thumb is I'll take it till there's no more thread showing on each spoke, and that just takes a lot of that out, but still gives you room to set it to where it can be. So if I won't do that on the video, it's boring. So, but the next stage is from here I will just take each one of these up to say the end of the thread, and then we're going to put the bearings back in and set it up in the yoke. Okay, so it's part of Project KH. There's another hub there that needs doing, another rim to do, but it's the same process. So so yeah, again, thanks for watching. Hope it's been you know, used for somebody that's thinking of maybe doing it, and if you're thinking of doing it, do it, have a go. It really isn't that difficult. Okay, so you can always rewind this video as well, obviously, to see right back to the start and see exactly how you set the first spoke up, which obviously sets the whole build off. So right, thanks for watching. Please hit the like and subscribe. Cheers guys.